A solidarity union is a concept proposed by Mark Drakeford, the First Minister of Wales, to reform the United Kingdom and prevent it from breaking up. He believes that the UK needs to be rebuilt as a union where every citizen's rights to public services and financial security are protected, regardless of where they live. He also argues that the devolved nations of Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland should have more autonomy and respect from the central government in London. Drakeford says that the bonds that tie the UK together have come under sustained assault from 40 years of neoliberalism, a political and economic ideology that favors free markets, deregulation and privatization over social welfare and public intervention. He traces this trend back to Margaret Thatcher, who became Prime Minister in 1979 and implemented policies that weakened the role of trade unions, reduced public spending and increased inequality. He also blames Boris Johnson and Liz Truss, who led the Brexit campaign and are now pursuing trade deals that threaten to undermine the standards and rights of workers, consumers, and the environment. According to Drakeford, the UK could break apart unless it is rebuilt as a solidarity union, where every citizen is entitled to a set of fundamental rights that are guaranteed by their membership of the UK. These rights include access to affordable public services such as health care, education and transport, protection of human rights and civil liberties, and support for those who are sick or out of work. He says that these rights should be portable across the UK, so that people who move from one nation to another can enjoy the same benefits and security. Drakeford also calls for a new constitutional settlement that recognizes the sovereignty of each nation within the UK and allows them to pool their sovereignty voluntarily for certain shared purposes. He says that the devolved nations should have more powers over areas such as taxation, welfare and immigration, and that they should be consulted and involved in decisions that affect them. He criticizes the Conservative government for showing a fundamental disrespect for the Welsh and Scottish parliaments by imposing internal trade rules and failing to acknowledge their authority over health policy during the COVID-19 pandemic. Drakeford is one of the most prominent advocates of wholesale reform of the UK within the Labour Party. He believes that this is the most credible response to the demands for independence in Scotland and for reunification with Ireland in Northern Ireland. He also acknowledges that there is a growing support for independence in Wales, although it remains well below the level in Scotland. He hopes that by creating a solidarity union, he can persuade people in all parts of the UK that their futures lie together within a restructured UK. A solidarity union is a vision for the UK that respects the sovereignty and autonomy of Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland and allows them to pool their powers for shared purposes. It is based on the idea that citizenship means rights and that every citizen of the UK should have access to public services and financial security regardless of where they live. Mark Drakeford, the First Minister of Wales, has argued that a solidarity union is the best way to prevent the UK from breaking apart. He has warned that the social and political bonds that tie the UK together have come under attack from 40 years of neoliberalism and Brexit. He has accused the Conservative government of showing a fundamental disrespect for the devolved nations by imposing internal trade rules and ignoring their health policies during the pandemic. Drakeford has proposed that a solidarity union would involve rebuilding the safety net for those who are sick or out of work, protecting the environment and consumer and trade union rights, and ensuring human rights and affordable public services for all. He has also suggested that sovereignty should rest in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland and that they should choose voluntarily to pool it back for certain key shared purposes, such as defense, foreign affairs and social security. Drakeford believes that a solidarity union would offer a positive alternative to independence for Scotland and Northern Ireland. He thinks that by creating a more equal and democratic UK, the devolved nations would see the benefits of staying together. He also hopes that a solidarity union would appeal to people across the UK who want a more progressive and inclusive society.